Yo, what's up everyone? Bill here for Classic Rock and Metal Review. Got a special sort of one-off little haul to tell you all about. As you can see in the title, 10 titles by the Allman Brothers Band. This was all purchased one giant lot off somebody off of eBay and very fairly priced. I just pounced on it. Luckily it was a buy it now, not a bidding situation. I usually don't bother bidding. Shit gets crazy, you know? But if I see a buy it now that looks like a reasonable, hell man, go for it. You just got to jump right into that stuff. You really do. So, like I said, when I get bored, guys, I just go on eBay. I don't even know what I'm there for. I'm just randomly looking. And when I get really bored, sometimes I'll just search my favorite band. I mean, pick any one of the 50 or 100 of them and just put the word lot on, behind it. Search that way. You'll be surprised what kind of stuff you find doing that. And that's what happened here. Allman Brothers lot. Scrolled across this batch of 10 different titles. It's a total of 23 different discs. Instant lives and bootlegs. That's what they all are. All of them new to me. Closest thing I have was one of the instant lives from another city on the same tour. But as you can see when we go down this list of stuff, a lot of variation. You might be thinking to yourself, what do you need all those for? They're all really kind of different. Actually 5 different eras, 2 titles from each of 5 different eras. So you'll see what I mean. We'll go down this list here. The closest thing I probably ever came to doing that search style was a couple summers ago, Thin Lizzy. Thin Lizzy lot. Somebody was selling a lot, all 6 of these deluxe editions. I think the only one that I don't have in here is Thunder and Lightning. So I still don't own Thunder and Lightning. I'm waiting to just get that deluxe edition too. And that bitch is going for over $100, 130, really kind of sucks. But eventually I'll get it, man. Sometimes the chase is just as fun as the catch. Guys, I got these 6 for, this was a bidding war, which I don't usually partake in. However, I just threw a big number out there, 2 seconds to go kind of thing. Got these for $200, which seemed like a little bit of money at the time. Last year or 2 since I bought those things are really kind of going up. So obviously a great decision there. So, when I saw this listing, this is the kind of listing where you don't want to mess around, man. It's not going to hang up there forever. And the pictures were a little rough. I'm starting to wonder, are these just CDR copies and he printed out covers? Not so much the instant lives. I know they're legit. Although, it was hard to tell online. They could be just copies of someone else's covers somehow. You can print anything offline as far as album covers, CD covers. Sometimes you write these sellers, you message them. They just don't get back to you. They take a day or two. I didn't want to take the chance that someone else got these and they were legit. And alas, everything authentic bootlegs and authentic instant lives. And really, honestly, guys, actually better than I expected in terms of the 3 bootlegs, and that they were new and sealed. All 3, the first 3 titles actually that I'll show you. And one that I thought was possibly just a ripoff from their live album, one of their live albums, turns out to be a one-of-a-kind show. The soundboard's not audience, which I couldn't really find the information out online, trying to just go off these pictures off eBay and research these titles, not finding them a lot on this one. Not only soundboard, sounds excellent. Basically sounds like what they recorded for a live album. And a few songs were used for the live album from the gig, but most of the gig not used. So, pretty cool. All right, time for a little drink. Going with an Arnold Palmer. You know what? Why not? It's like 56 degrees today in the middle of January, end of January. This is the new winter. You know what? If we're going to have global warming, bring it on. Next thing you know, I'll be golfing too, which I don't do. But little iced tea and lemonade and vodka. Hallelujah. Yeah, you can see all the shit's gone. It was getting a little ridiculous, I admit. Sayonara. Till next year. I'll try to be a little more on top of it. Hopefully I won't get the flu Christmas Day. All right, so really, like I was saying, what makes this so interesting? 5 sort of different eras of the band. First ever, I would call this the 7 Turns Shades of Two Worlds era. Germany, 1991. Double CD, and it is sealed. I haven't even opened this one to check it out yet as far as playing it. And we're on Immortal. That's the label that made this guy. 2011. And this was on a show called Own Filter, Germany. It's a TV show, so I was watching a little of this on YouTube, actually. I'm a huge collector, as you know, of video, and I've never owned that show on video. So I do want to get that eventually, but I'll go with some audio for now. Double CD, like I said, sealed. Should be a good one. And like I said, I think Shades of Two Worlds came out July 2nd. That show from Germany, July 5th. So looking forward to that guy, of course. Now here's one that just came out, I think, a couple years ago. This is the only audience recorded selection in all of these titles. Tokyo 1992 First Night. And it's on the Zion label. This was sealed. I pulled the cover off just so you don't get as much glare. You might have remembered this title coming out, guys, not too long ago. I don't want to give you a date and be wrong, but I feel like it was just a year or two ago. And double CD. Zion's a pretty good label. I have something from them. Kind of cool. And so I threw it on just to get a sense of the sound quality. Listen to one song. Typical Japan audience. Quiet as could be. When the band comes out, before they start playing their instruments, sounds like there's about a half dozen punters there, you know, screaming and yelling. In an otherwise totally silent auditorium. By the time they go to play, it is totally silent. Those half dozen people shut up. So the sound quality is not awesome, but it's pretty good. And, you know, that's the one thing you got to love about the Japan audiences, man. They just sit there and watch for the most part, making the bootlegs nice and clean. Like I said, 7 Turns, Shades of Two Worlds era there. All right, on to the Where It All Begins era. Southern Harmony is the name of this one. This was, I thought, going to be a cheap Joker title. Raleigh, North Carolina, the Walnut Creek Amphitheater, July 1st, 1994. Soundboard, this CD in particular, made in Italy, says so right on the back, and released in 1994, same year as the show. Now, this is one of several CDs, 3 or 4 CDs that were used to comprise the live album from, I think this came out in 95, but it was recorded in 94. Second set. Raleigh, North Carolina used for this guy. And let me tell you, this sounds like the official, not only soundboard, but almost like soundboard and then produced after the fact. So I really think this is the actual final produced version that went into making second set. Now I think there's 2 or 3 songs from this on second set. Otherwise though, you got a whole bunch of other stuff. Only 1 CD and 9 songs. So I'm sure the actual show is longer. But man, the sound quality is great. This is probably the cheapest looking of all these things as far as product and cover art and all that. It might be the best sounding. It's great sounding. So that was a surprise. That one I thought was going to be an audience recording. I couldn't tell what it was, trying to look it up online. You know, Discogs is really vague these days, being anti-bootleg like they are. I'm seeing less and less info about bootlegs on there, even though they still have it on there. Just basically a track listing and notes. All right, here's a cool title. Again, Where It All Begins tour. This one called New Jersey 1994. So, you know, I had these pictures from eBay. I saw the cover. Flip it over, I see Garden State Arts Center, Holmdel, New Jersey, August 16th. I think I got that show. Go up to my shelf. In fact, I know I do. I taped it myself off the radio. Made this cheap cover for it, too. So that was kind of cool seeing that. And, you know, I'm like, well, I already have that, but at least I'll get a little more legit cover art out of it. Best I could tell, it was silver press, and it is. The label on this one is Ariba. Made in Germany, though. A name like that, it's kind of odd. So apparently, if you look, there's a listing in this cover of, I don't know, maybe about 50 different titles that they put out by this point. And I'm not sure if there's a year on this product. This year is 1994. So another pouncing right on the product, because August 16th, the date of this show. So check this out. This is what's cool about it. And I didn't even notice this at first. A couple days later, I'm still waiting for this to arrive. Let me look at those pictures a little closer, zoom in on the set list on this guy. Like I said, I taped this show myself. I'll read you off the whole blurb right off the back here. Recorded live, Garden State Arts Center, blah, 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 the date and the venue. Band was part of Horde Festival that summer, touring in support of Where It All Begins from earlier that year. This recording was taken directly from the master tape of a Westwood One FM radio broadcast, 94.1 WISP from Philadelphia, PA, which aired on October 5th, 1995. Hosted by Jim Ellis, total time 74 minutes. But here's what's really cool about it. Start taking a closer look at these two set lists. Different songs. So unique to my version, 17, almost 18-minute version of Jessica, which goes in the Mountain Jam. Comes out of it, goes back into Jessica. And I also have Whipping Post, almost 14-minute version there. All right? But there's some songs on the New Jersey 1994 that I didn't have on my copy. Same Thing, Soul Shine, No One to Run With, which is awesome, and Back Where It All Begins. So if you combine these two shows, you get about 105 minutes. If I put the songs that are on mine that weren't on here, it adds another half hour plus to the show. So pretty cool. Still missing 3 songs from the complete set list that day, but I think I have myself a little side project for iTunes. Burning both of these in there. I think mine's already in there. I'll burn this in there. I'll make a more complete set list. I think I'll have 14 out of the 17 songs from this show. Excellent soundboard. And actually, now this usually isn't the case. I have a couple other things I've taped off the radio myself, and they sound better than bootlegs generally, and even some authentic releases. You know, when the bands release stuff themselves, not quite as good as my own versions off the radio from years ago. Had the right stereo, XL2S Max L. You really can't beat it. However, this CD sounds better. It's just really well produced and stuff. So I'll just be adding my couple of songs to this version. This is the better sound. Next up, the Hitting the Note era from 2003, 2004. We got an instant live. And again, we're back at Walnut Creek Amphitheater, Raleigh, North Carolina. This one's August 10th of 2003. Now this one doesn't have set list printed on the back of it like most of these do. That can vary, you know, with these instant lives. Cool thing though, only 4 songs from the next title I'm about to tell you from a year later repeat on that title. So this is a 3 CD show that only repeats 4 songs from a 2004 instant live I'm going to show you next. Highlights from this title, Raleigh, North Carolina, like I said, Susan Tedeschi on Don't Think Twice. You have both Carl Denson and Branford Marsalis making appearances on saxophone. Band is starting to do some cover songs here in this era. This one you get Into the Mystic, great Van Morrison song, and you get some Hitting the Note material, their new album from that year, 2003. So that's a killer. So on, like I said, to 2004. We're at the Fox Theater, Atlanta, Georgia, September 25th, 2004. Still supporting Hitting the Note. This one does have the set list on the back of it. And I'd show you this one, but this one, the little spikes that hold the disc, most of them pretty much bashed up. So this disc 1 anyway wants to fall out of there. But you know what? Overall, decent condition, authentic stuff, and highlights from this 2004 CD. Night They Drove Old Dixie Down. I love their version of that. I have a instant live that someone burned me years ago from Knoxville, same year. I think it's October, and that's on there. That's where I first heard this 15 years ago. So I'm keeping this. This is a different show, but cool to have an instant live that has that. They also do Finale, Layla. That's killer. Also, Susan Tedeschi's here again. And on this one also, Valor Trucks. He's the son of drummer Butch Trucks. Butch, rest in peace, who, if you're not familiar, he was on, here he is right here on the front cover of Brothers and Sisters, Valor Trucks. So a couple special guests, 3 CDs on that winner, and like I said, only 4 songs between that 2003 show and 2004 show 4 songs are the same. On to the 2009 era. There's 2 different titles from there. Oakland, California, May 12th, 2009. Another 3 CD set, instant live. Highlights from this one, we got another Van Morrison song, And It Stoned Me. Rockin' Horse from Hittin' the Note, which was previously a Government Mule song, As I'm Sure You Know. Also Black Hearted Woman, that's a favorite of mine from the first album. And another instant live title from 2009, Charlotte, North Carolina, October 3rd. This one's only 2 CDs. Quite different set list from the Oakland show from, 5 months earlier. 4 songs repeat. 31-minute Mountain Jam as an opener. That should be cool. Man, you know what? That song is almost like a religious experience. How it just starts out with a little tinkering on guitar, some cymbals maybe. Next thing you know, 5-6 minutes later, you're totally rocking out. It's like, how the hell did we get here from that? And it deserves the whole half. You'd think, oh, it's a half-hour song. Who wants to hear a half-hour jam? When it's over, you're almost disappointed. I mean, it's always so fulfilling, that song. Almost like I said, a religious experience. All right, so final batch, a couple of shows from 2014. And actually, they're only 1 day apart. Beacon Theater run. So March 7th and March 8th, 2014. Both of these triple CDs. Guys, no songs repeat. I repeat, no songs from either of these shows are the same. I mean, that's just incredible. I mean, can you see Sabbath or Priest trying to do that? Like, oh man. And not only that, they're just friggin' awesome. Now, this was our last touring year, 2014. The last time I got to see the Allmans was 2010. It was a good show. It just wasn't awesome. And I know they can be awesome. I mean, how many times I saw them, they were great. 3 times back in the late 80s, early 90s. And I'm not sure why I didn't get to see them in between 1991 and 2010. Just stupidity on my part, really. And guys, that's going to do it. What do you think? Not too friggin' shabby. I don't know about you guys. $100. Did I even mention that? It was a $99 buy. $110 all in with tax and shipping. Not too bad, all right? Check it out. Type in your favorite band in eBay and then put the word lot behind it. You never know what you're going to find. It's probably a good chance this guy couldn't list these titles because half of them are bootlegs. So you just throw them in a lot of other live things and, just discerning eye can pick that stuff out. And you're becoming a discerning eye watching this awesome channel, if I don't say so myself. Coming up next, you're still here? Coming up next, seriously. Love You Long Time, Twisted Sister, You Can't Stop Rock and Roll. I know, I told you it'd be next. I lied. Sue me. If you're not familiar with Love You Long Time, I revisit an album that I haven't had in decades. And let's see if Twisted Sister, You Can't Stop Rock and Roll is a solid 8, like I used to think it was back in the mid-80s. 8, 8.5, something like that. We'll go with solid 8. That'll be the target for that guy. It is coming up Monday, probably. And beyond that, I'm going to change shit up, really. I know I've said this before. About a year ago, I got a new schedule, and here's what it's going to be. And I didn't stick to it too long. But I'm going to try it again. I really am. And I'm changing shit up. If you guys love bootleg reviews, I'm listening to you guys a little bit. Because as long as I'm into it, it doesn't matter to me a whole lot what I'm doing, as long as I'm into it. Obviously love bootlegs. You guys want more bootlegs. You also want more Sabbath. Nothing wrong with that. There's not enough Sabbath or bootlegs on this channel as far as I'm concerned. You're going to get both, and just stick around. I have a channel announcement coming out. I guess January 31st. I'll do the announcement. And new schedule starts February 1st. I'm serious. I'm sticking to this new schedule this time. All right, man. That'll be all. Catch you all later. Hope everyone's doing great. Hey, have a great rest of your Saturday. Cheers.